I'm Alex Rodriguez.
And I'm Jason Kelly.
From Bloomberg, this is The Deal. Each week, you'll hear us in conversation with business icons.
This show will explore deal-making across sports, media, and entertainment.
That is a harsh lesson in business.
Sports is not as simple as bringing a bunch of big names together.
I didn't want to do another stomp you out speech.
It opened up so many more doors.
The show is called The Deal.
Listen to The Deal.
Listen to The Deal on Spotify.
Thanks for choosing this free Anfield Index podcast. If you'd prefer to listen to this or any of our other shows without adverts, then now's the time to check out Anfield Index Pro. With AI Pro, you can supercharge your entire listening experience. You'll not only get all of our podcasts without the ads, but you'll have them far faster with our Quick Publish feature available exclusively for subscribers. AI Pro also puts you in the heart of our sound studio, with an option to listen to many of our shows live and interact with the podcasters in real time as the shows are recording. Upgrading couldn't be easier. AI Pro is available on all popular podcast platforms, and we have our own apps for Apple and Android. Just head on over to AnfieldIndexPro.com and get started today.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the latest Anfield Index Under Pressure podcast. My name's Dan Kennett, and with me to discuss the 3-3 draw at Aston Villa. We don't have Hamza tonight. He's watching Spurs Man City. He's at Spurs Man City. Nice job if you can get it. But I do have Si, and I do have Dr. Bart. Evening, boys.
Evening, mate.
I don't know. Actually, it was a bit. I'm a bit cheesed off with the with the end of the season now. I was saying it's become a bit of a
one of them.
Yeah, the wheels are starting to fall off a bit, aren't they? Really.
Sure. I think we might have said this a little while ago as a UP, but we might not have to believe it. But yeah.
Si, and how are you, mate?
At this point of the season, I couldn't have been less interested in the Villa game, sadly, because I'm only in it like I want to win stuff, and it's dead rubber.
Yeah.
So all I want to see is patterns. I want to see some at best signs of. I have no interest in watching the lads who are a little bit in form right now getting picked again because they're a little bit in form. I only have interest in picking our best players, the players you bought to be our best players in a specific system, rehearsing the system that you picked them for to be the best version. Because the lads that are currently in this team aren't winning you a league. Does that make sense? Does that mean?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Absolutely fair.
We've had over a week from the previous game, and only change I think to starting lineup was Andy Robertson was injured again, so in comes Joe Gomez at left back, which basically means he sticks with Jarell Quansah. So what do you think that tells us in the long term about Ibu Konate and Jarell Quansah?
It kind of blows my mind a little bit, but this is 3 games in a row that he's gone with Quansah over a fit and available Konate. Sat him on the bench. This is 4 out of the last 5 games that Quansah's played. Konate hasn't. So Konate can't be injured because he wouldn't be on the bench. When we have players available now. We only have 5 injuries.
Only 5 injuries.
Well,
Jota, Thiago,
Matip, Doak.
Yeah.
Lee, Clark.
But you're not really counting those. I'm not having Doak counted as an injury. I'm not having Clark counted as an injury because shall I tell you why? They aren't even in the club's first team squad on their website.
Fair.
Wow, that's a fair point.
So
on the Quansah thing, right? If you are going to play Trent and basically just wandering wherever he wants into centre midfield at every available opportunity, is Jarell Quansah suited to play in that role on the right hand side? Say,
No, not at all. I think Gerrard Kwanzaa might be his ceiling is probably a very good traditional Premier League centre back in a back four.
Yeah,
I think him playing as a loose. So the position that Ibu has mastered would be a stretch, but
it's pretty impossible. It's a pretty impossible job.
It's a pretty impossible job that is suitable. That he is almost uniquely suited for.
Yes,
it mitigates the things he's not good at, and it takes advantage of the things he is good at.
Yeah,
which is covering ground fast
and 1v1s.
And 1v1s, exactly. And if he can get 1v1s out wide, where he's got only one direction for the attacker to go because there's a touchline next to him, he is phenomenal. He's one of the best in the world at that. Yeah. And Kwanzaa's not.
So Kwanzaa needs to. What you say? Kwanzaa needs to be where Virgil is in that system. Kwanzaa needs to be in the Virgil position, with somebody to his right and somebody to his left.
Yeah, probably. But even then, there's nobody to his left. So we're back to playing a back two. So I don't know where there is he's going to play there, and he's not doing badly or anything. It's just that you need the best players in this system to be at their very best because we're back to playing with our hair on fire.
Yeah, you say he's not playing badly or anything, but the Ollie Watkins goal, that was pretty shocking.
Are we going to jump straight to?
We'll just do all the Kwanzaa stuff now because we're only going to do a short pod anyway. Just do all the Kwanzaa stuff now.
Okay, right. So I would put him as the third most responsible for that goal.
Okay.
In there, I think Trent. I think Trent was an abomination of a lazy bastard. It staggers me how lazy he is sometimes, how unwilling to defend he is, how unwilling to sprint 3 meters when he's inside the box to help out his kid mate. His job of any fullback in the world is to double bank with a centre back. When somebody's running down the line, you double bank and guide which direction that attacker's going to go, preferably onto his weaker foot. But if he's going outside, Trent could sprint for 3 meters and he's already blocked off that angle. Okay. So there's no pullback if Trent is involved in this play, and he stands and watches. If I was Virgil, I'd have run over and throttled it because it was so obvious from behind the camera, from where the zoomed out version, exactly what happened.
And is the other person you're blaming the one for taking the unnecessary pass to cause us instability in the first place? Was it Endo or Mac? I can't remember.
It was Mac. It was Mac. No.
That would be mine. I have to say that Mac's mine for playing this stupid ball.
So further up the pitch, right? When we're set, we had 5 players behind the ball. As long as that they were engaged cognitively into protection, because do you remember Jurgen's big adage is when you're on the pitch, you're either an option or
be an option or be protection.
Yeah. Trent doesn't have that in his brain. He's totally given up. Let's be a protection, and it drives me insane because I love Trent and alongside Rhodesy. We were his biggest advocates in the world for about 3 years. So I don't want to blame Harvey, but Harvey played a significant role in this. We had both Trent when we lost possession because he was forcing a pass. He just made a bad pass. I think it was the right choice.
Just executed badly.
It was one of the top 2 choices to make, and I think he executed it badly. From that moment, we had so basically their midfield create a box. It's how they attack, right? So they have 4-2-2-2, and so how we defend that midfield shape is how we would have done in the past. Would have been Bobby dropped in on one of them on the bottom 4, and then whoever the right side 8 would pick up the other defensive one, and then our two other players, a 6 and an 8 would get their top of the box. So Endo and Mac went with the top of the box. it could what the one Mac had, he could have easily been covered by Gomez because Gomez was in the middle of nowhere, and Trent was in the middle of nowhere, and Harvey was in the middle of nowhere. Harvey was 3 meters deeper than the lad who scored in the end, and the lad who scored in the end had 15 meters of space because Harvey was just over the halfway line, not bothering to jog. What should have happened was Harvey should have busted his balls to get back. He wouldn't have needed to even broke into a full sprint, but he could have just got alongside McGinn, and then McGinn wouldn't have been able to commit Mac near post, which allowed all of the space on the edge of the box, which Mac would have pressed otherwise. So Kwanzaa one-on-one against one of the most informed players in the country, gets roasted, happens. He could. So Kwanzaa could have been better if he was Ibu. I've seen Ibu roasted this season as well sometimes, but it happens. But he could have been better. Structurally, we had significant issues with other players who just couldn't be bothered.
Yeah, that's fair play.
Yeah.
That's fair comment. And I was just going to say that I was really disappointed with Kwanzaa's 1v1 in that moment. But like I said, Watkins is a good player, but he did score a really nice header to make it 3-1 later on as well. So anyway, that's all the Kwanzaa discussion.
That was a lovely header.
That was a great header.
He should go do some heading practice with Virgil.
Hey, there's the banter, the Virgil banter. 50p head, right? But let's do that quick match summary. Not that we don't want to spend too long on these gory details.
No. Interestingly, was it you, Darth, who posted the possession and points gains thing for us? Because this is a game we had more possession than the opposition.
Yes.
But our touches obviously were structured with 7-3-9 to there, 5-7-3. Field tilt, much like games we've said before, we've had less possession, we've dominated the field tilt. They had 58% field tilt to our 41. We are away, but still, we shouldn't be doing that as Liverpool. They had 19 shots to our 14. They had 17 penalty box shots.
Unreal.
To our 9.
Unreal.
This is Liverpool Football Club going, doing what we're doing and conceding 17 shots in our penalty box. Big chances, 3 each. Obviously, we got an OG and scored 2 of our own, and they got 3 legitimate goals. XG under something I've got one about 3-2-1 to them, 1-8-2 to us. Remember, one of the metrics I look at is how we convert ours, and 300% is normally a good EPV to XG for us. We were at 167 for this game. Again, indicates poor conversion of our EPV to XG. They, again, another metric is how much we allow the opposition to convert APV to XG. Again, we should try and keep that below 150. We let Villa do it at 428%. So their pass success was better than 85%, and ours was 88%. So the only thing we beat Villa on was the pass success, which is something to obviously write home about.
If Roti was here, one thing he would have done is average shot quality.
I could do that.
Have you got it?
Yeah, I've got it on the shot analysis using Understat. So they had 0.14 XG per shot.
3.3 XG from 19 shots.
Yeah.
17% average shot quality is virtually a big chance.
Yeah. But it's you don't want to go that depth off. That's too depressing to do that.
But this highlights the randomness of XG. That I like you track the XT and against XG, but also against post shot. The Villa created more post shot than us. Do you say?
Yeah.
But from their what was their XG? From the 2.7 XG, they only created 0.7 post shot, but 3 goals.
It's
just because they missed a 0.99 chance, they stuck it wide.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No post shot. Just to finish off your probabilities for you, just in case you wanted to depress yourself. Villa would have won the game 70% out of 1,000 sims. And that scoreline would have been 3-2 to them 11% of the time. The next nearest kind of scores were 4-2 to Villa and 2-1 to Villa. So there's no real. There are a few where obviously we would have come out on time. 9%.
99% XG, 0.99 XGs are really going to help with your Monte Carlo, aren't they?
Exactly, and this is the flaws of what you look at. But on the chance, on another day, Villa stick that in is 2 at half time.
Yeah, and
Martinez doesn't spill a stupid cross in his own net in the first minute, and we're 2-1 down at half time. So I think actually, although it's susceptible to variability due to XG, I don't think that's a too dissimilar picture to go. Villa should have won that game, and I think that's a fair summary for me.
I mean, and I know that Eric Chu promoting is a GIF, for his incredible miss for PSG, and when he was literally on the goal line. But this is Diego Carlos. So he is literally, I would say, a foot out. And he just the ball comes across. It's not even a particularly hard cross, and he just literally misplaces his foot, doesn't he? He can't seem to get his balance and his position, and he just misses it.
I mean, is that why he's centre half and not anything else? Maybe, but I don't know. But understand, interestingly, he only gave it 0.97, so downgraded it or something. But there you go. I'm not sure how they've knocked off 0.2 of it.
Yeah, anyway, we start the game with one of the most dislikable players in world football. Literally throws the ball into his own net side, which was fun.
Yeah, what a prick! Who's been the best goalie in the league this season? Weirdly,
he is a prick, though, isn't he?
Yeah, absolute tool.
Did you see him in the Did you see him in the penalty shootout against in the Europa League or the Conference League? I think it was against the. Oh, they were playing. I think they were playing a French team, weren't they? And then anyway, he was an absolute arsehole. He was literally. He should have been sent off.
Really? Yeah. He gets away with murder, that lad. The murder he gets away with just by ripping his shirt sleeves.
Yeah.
Bad dickhead. But yeah, 3-1 in, and we couldn't take advantage of that. Do you know this is the 6th own goal of the season that's been in our favour?
No way. Really?
Wow.
The most in the league.
Wow.
So we like to feel ourselves unlucky, and I probably get told off for blaming Klopp more than most. I feel like we've had some significant bits of luck our way. The referees have not been in.
No, that's true. So we get the lead, but after 2 minutes. But I would say it's never really a convincing performance in any way. And how I thought we were quite exposed in that game. It's a big pitch. We all know Villa is one of the biggest pitches in the leagues. And we just looked quite pedestrian. And they were full of strong runners, direct runners, and 32 dribbles in this match. John McGinn was made to look like, some kind of peak Kevin De Bruyne figure bursting through our midfield. We really slow and pedestrian. And I thought considering it was a bit of a basketball game, we couldn't get up with play and then we couldn't get back. What did you think?
I thought we were chasing. We kept giving the ball away. I think our structure was terrible. I think the placement of our decision-making for where we were making passes was terrible. Here's Simon sticking up for Mo in a game. Yeah. Right. So let's set this up with, I didn't see the game until 60 minutes. I've seen it since, but I didn't know I knew what was happening because I could hear everybody shout, but I wasn't watching until 60 minutes. And I came and looked at my phone. Mo got lost of stick for not being involved, looked at the stats, blah, 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 blah. But how often do we talk about our best football is played when that right side were interchanged together?
Yeah.
And I think, but Trent's positioning was terrible. It was decision-making of where he was going was really slow. And he was getting really frustrated that people weren't giving in the ball straight away. And like he's throwing his arms up in the air when he's not getting passed by Virgil. And he did it more than once. And where he was making passes was not helping. He wasn't the biggest cause, but he's usually one of our biggest strengths.
Yes.
And there were, in the first 20 minutes, there were 4 opportunities where Mo was in behind had he received the pass. That only one time Gakpo aimed at him, and it was a terrible pass because he's just not a good footballer at doing these things. So he missed by maybe 15 metres when Mo would have been one-on-one on 4 different occasions from making good runs. And I also, in the first 15 minutes that Trent got the ball, didn't make a pass to Mo, who was 20 metres in space on the touchline, where you would just expect a first-time pass. And instead, he cut back inside and forced the ball. And we were playing the balls through the middle of their team. Remember, they play 4-2-2-2-2. 4-2-2-2, yeah. Where is their strength going to be?
Yeah.
Down the middle.
We're playing right into the middle of their box.
Yeah.
Not their penalty box, the box of their strength. The exact area they want us to play, because despite them playing on a big open surface, it's only 71-40, which is a standard Premier League side. But it's big compared to Anfield, where we get to dominate without possession because we can get their space. But we didn't. We attempted one switch in the whole game.
Did we really?
It's madness. We were just not attempting to make those passes out wide. We made one switch and we scored.
Well,
so we just weren't involving our best players at the right time when they were in space. We were forcing in the middle of the pitch because it felt like we were going for individual glory moments.
I'm Alex Rodriguez.
And I'm Jason Kelly.
From Bloomberg, this is The Deal. Each week, you'll hear us in conversation with business icons.
This show will explore deal-making across sports, media, and entertainment.
That is a harsh lesson in business.
Sports is not as simple as bringing a bunch of big names together.
I didn't want to do another stomp you out speech.
It opened up so many more doors.
The show is called
The Deal.
Listen to The Deal.
Listen to The Deal on Spotify.
I don't need a VPN. I've got nothing to hide. This is what I used to tell myself before I hooked up with LibertyShield.com. Not only is my home internet now fully encrypted, but I can now access all the websites I want, whenever I want, and do so from absolutely anywhere. As a Liverpool fan, I love to know I can now watch every match, regardless of whether it's on UK TV or not. My Liberty Shield VPN makes sure nothing is blocked and guarantees me super fast streaming speed throughout that match. You can get connected right now with their software package, which includes a 48-hour no-obligation free trial and instant access to their apps for Apple, Android, Fire TV, PC, Mac, and Android TV. Or go a step further like I have and get one of their pre-configured VPN routers. These small but powerful devices allow you to easily connect every device in your home to VPN, making it the perfect solution for smart TVs, Mac boxes, and games consoles. Visit LibertyShield.com today and use coupon code AIVPN25 to get 25% off at checkout.
Yeah. What did you think of? And you've always talked about if you try to build when you're not in the position to build, and you always talk about. Come on, the phrase. You used to talk about it with Thiago's side. Basically, the thing about Thiago, he'd never make the pass until he was in the position, in case things went wrong. And it seemed to me like we were back to that situation pre-Thiago last night. And a lot of it came down in my mind is that we just look one-paced. And we didn't look like a basketball team. We didn't remember Pete Klopp. We could beat anybody in a basketball match.
Who do you think won the running, and what numbers do you reckon we had?
Is this a trick question or
no, it's a question.
Okay, I think Villa won the running.
Maybe they won the sprints. I don't know, but I don't know. I mean, I would say you probably a 110 for us.
I was going to go lower than that.
So we won the running with 112 to 110.
Okay.
And we won the sprints by 40. So 185 to 146.
Okay.
So physically, it didn't feel that way to me either.
No.
Were ours just in the wrong places?
We were chasing. So how? So
is it like Tommy Cooper played all the right notes, just in the wrong order?
Yeah. So what you were saying about Thiago making the right pass at the right time and waiting until we had protection before we made risk. We have three players that don't do. Trent can, and he can be the best in the world at it. But when I'm picking on Trent again now, he doesn't sometimes he just doesn't. And sometimes he gets it. He gets frustrated. I love Steven Gerrard. How can you not love Steven Gerrard? You will know games. You will remember games when he was doing it. Just takes it on himself. Yeah. He wants to be that guy. And he would just be forcing passes all the time that weren't there. And you need space. And he just stops utilising space that way. So the reason that Mac and Harvey were forcing riskier passes at the wrong time is because they didn't know when the right time was going to occur, because they didn't know where Trent and Gomez were going to be. So Gomez was going wide sometimes. Sometimes he wasn't. Sometimes he was kind of tucking in. But at the same time, Trent was often tucking in as well. So we created a box in our basically centre circle. And then we had 5 players in the centre circle at the same time. And they had 4 players, and 2 of them would just go wider than our fullbacks. And then they were just breaking us because both fullbacks had inverted at the same time, or one of them had not gone wide, and then his 8 hadn't tucked into the half space. So the synchronization of our movements was totally off, and it was caused by the fullbacks.
Yeah, and just on the other horrendous game we had at Villa Park in recent times, the 7-2. That was the very early stages of. When teams were just smashing balls straight, as soon as they got the ball, they'd hit it over our heads into the channels behind a fullback, and then go with direct running. This was a different type of direct running. It was more against a set midfield and set defence. Villa weren't going over the top, but they were dribbling right through the middle of us, right from central areas, either side of the central circle, and into our approaching our D as well. And like the 3 Villa players behind the striker, Bailey, Diaby and McGinn, attempted 20 dribbles between them, and they completed 13. So it's just nuts. And it's not good enough, really. And it's indicative of the problems we have. Bart, your thoughts on all this?
I think just to back up what I said, if you look at the Visa, I know it's average position, but there are those 5 players in the central 2 boxes on the pitch. Are they
holding hands?
They are pretty much, yeah. I mean, it looks pretty, but it's literally in 2 boxes out of 16 or 12, whatever. So it's no effect. You know, some of the best moments we've had, even in the really bad times this season, there haven't been many, is where we have utilised all the boxes on the pitch in the attacking third, and this is a million miles away from that. Villa is very similar to an Atalanta kind of crap around the middle part. So they might defend the middle zone, but as you said, they dribbled out and then passed into the wide areas and utilise the half spaces and channels in behind. Like Watkins' goal is them moving the ball for a carry, playing it in behind. Watkins is in and he utilises his space to then dribble in the right areas and create an opportunity. Villa, I thought, what did really well, they backed that up. They had third-man runners coming into the positions on the edge of the D. They knew where the ball was going to get pulled to. They had Tillemans in for the goal, obviously, but they had McGinn who would drop into those areas. So they supported that play. There's various opportunities, and I thought Bailey actually played really well, and I didn't actually think he had it in him, to be fair, but he got into those areas really well, either side of just inside, not quite hot zone because they were in our box, but he was in those wide areas looking to put a ball into the same area. So I think it's the only period that, just also to look at that point of that right triangle where we actually bothered to use the right half space and zone 14 and link those up in a more sustained period of time, was 31-45 and 76-90, round about those times. And those are also the 2 periods of the game where our stats are not that far off Villa's. I mean, we still win those times, but we're not like getting beat by 40 in terms of field tilt percentage and that kind of thing. So I think where we did try and do that, we did have some success, but there was just so many errors with the way we set up. The size point right at the beginning of the show, why don't we just practice doing stuff that we want to do? This seemed to be a prime opportunity. You've now got fit, your right back sat on the bench. Would this not have been a prime opportunity to actually just play Trent in midfield? Because Endo's clearly gassed. Don't play him. Play Mac as a 6, play Trent in there. You play a proper right back in there, and you see how it runs. It's a dead rubber. Try stuff out that you might want to do. I thought I had, while we were talking about that, is you had the opportunity here to go and play and go on it, Trent. You don't want to defend, go and play midfield then. And it would have saved a lot of the problems, because we were saying Endo just looked completely off the pace. He just looks not a shell of the player he was around his peak time. Max not suited to play the six in this level, even after playing 60 minutes of a game where he's being run around. And Harvey again is trying to do the stuff that he's good at, but he's not suited with the ball behind him, which is what they're doing when they drill past him. So this might have been an opportunity to do something else. But Villa, to me, Emre always has got good tactics. I think he does set up his sides well. And it seemed to me that they defended the middle part of the pitch really well, and then looked to attack that space where they knew it would be behind our fullbacks. Even with them marauding, if Robertson had played, he still would have been marauding up the left wing, which would have left space in them for them to attack as well for Bailey.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, Si, you talked about the structure. The structure was bad. It's a bit of a sad end, really, isn't it, to the Klopp era, the way it's a bit chaotic and it's all a bit ramshackle.
I know we don't like to talk about psychology and momentum and all that kind of intangible stuff on here. But every time Klopp opens his mouth in the last month, he mentions at some point next season, and it's not his problem. He doesn't care. It's not him. How can that not bleed into the players? When your system is so demanding of this is the most, I need every ounce of your effort and drive. Give everything for me. I can't give any. I have nothing left for you, and like I don't even care anymore. I've heard him say it so many times.
Yeah.
And I get it. I don't even blame him for saying it. And I think this is inevitable. And the end was always inevitable because when you stay this long, it can't. You need so much fortune for it to be pretty. The ending. And I wonder one of two things: whether he wanted to leave last season, but he has too much integrity to leave us when he was screwed. I think that was probably it. Or he always planned to leave this season, a season before the last of the season, but he meant for it to be a secret till the end of the season, and then he wouldn't be in. You hear it in American sports quite a lot about NFL, particularly in the NFL, that you've just got a lame duck coach, so players don't bother listening to him when there's no consequence in the last season. And I feel like he is that, and that's how it's just meandering to an end right now. And we got the very best version of what could have happened, and then it just fell short. And there's no way of motivating these players right now.
No, and you were on Twitter earlier on outlining it's not just this game though; it's basically been the last 2 months really, since the City team, since we did, to be fair, we threw the kitchen sink at City.
We did,
and
everyone still bought in at that point.
Yeah, and then it was just missed chances that cost us. Yeah,
we should have beaten City. Let's be honest here, we should have beaten City. If you beat City, I think we're sitting there completely different. Because I think we steamrolled everybody else. But I think we beat City and not win was a killer.
Yeah. I think we beat City. I think we probably win every game. Yeah. We went out at that point, just the belief. And then it became, it's so hard in sport to not know who LeBron James is, to not know Tiger Woods is 2 shots behind you as you're approaching the end of the game. It's impossible, having had the league title ripped out of your hands twice before, it's impossible not to know that they are stamping away. And you had the moment, you had the opportunity to stamp on their throat, and you didn't. And there's no way in the world that doesn't get into the player's mind.
Yeah.
And the second moment, I think, is the one we've all chatted about, is the United defeat in the Cup was poor timing because you had an international break straight after. I don't think that helped us. I think that kind of destroyed the whole kind of, we're going for the quad thing. If it had been the game straight away afterwards, like, we didn't have that break, you might have been able to pick them up. But you had so long for them to think over it and dwell on the fact, the quad's gone. What we're going to do? You saw it straight after that. We just came back a different, not as on its side, should we say?
When you're in a room and you're in it together, and he creates this culture, this atmosphere of togetherness, right? It's very different than you flying away to another bunch of cocky twats who you're competing against, who will take the piss out of you for screwing up, and they will very much highlight the fact that City are coming to get you. There's no way around it. That's what boys do to each other. And these are just boys. And as soon as that game ended, they're off to go and hang out with their other mates who play for the other teams, and they're going to have the piss ripped out of them.
Yeah.
For a week.
But you've there's a pretty sorry. We're a stats show after all. There's some pretty sorry stats for the last 2-month period, isn't there, Si?
Really sorry stats for the last since Brighton, since Man City. We have underperformed. We're getting some decent XT. It's not the end of the world, but turning that into goals, we're underperforming our XT by almost half a goal every game.
Christ.
At our best, in that 90 game period we talked about, of the great times that in the Klopp eulogy pod, we were overperforming. We were creating 2 XT a game and scoring 2.4.
Yeah.
So to quantify how unclinical we are, and inversely, we are allowing 0.3 post-shot XG on target more than the XT our defence is allowing. So we used to be brilliant at our very best. We would suppress the amount of XG we're allowing, but we would also then suppress the amount of that XG that turned into goal, into post-shot XG that the keeper had to face. And now we're allowing 1 XG, but allowing 1.3 post-shot, making it harder for the keeper.
Hey guys, it's Eddie Gibbs from Anfield Index here. I hope you're enjoying this podcast, and I'm sorry to call time on the show before it ends. In the current climate, it's tougher than ever before to offer podcasts for free. At Anfield Index, we produce over 75 free shows every month, which I'm confident is unparalleled in the LFC sphere. Whilst we'd love to offer everything for free, the production costs now make this impossible. That said, we don't want to follow the model of other channels and lock all of our content behind a paywall. So what we've decided to do is to continue offering every show for free, but cut that offering to 30 minutes on our longer shows. So to get all of our shows in full and enjoy the best of everything we have to offer, we really hope you'll consider supporting the channel and signing up at AnfieldIndexPro.com. For about the price of 1 cup of coffee, you'll get every podcast in full with 0 ads. You'll also get access to our LFC VIP community, where you can enjoy live podcasts, engage with our podcasters, and chat with other Reds in real time. So that website again, AnfieldIndexPro.com. Join today.
Sports Social Podcast Network.